just get your act together. Who else? The Muller family. The Muller family are, without wanting to insult anybody, the Muller family are one of my favorite clients of all time. They're an absolute joy to work with, and they showed me how, you guys probably don't know why, and I'll tell you in private, but you guys showed me that we can aim higher. You guys were the reason why we decided and we believe that we can go to a higher level. Who else? Obviously we have a large German community here that, Nick and all his guys, Mr. Frank Schultz, who, as well, one of our newest partners, and he's going to be a great contributor. Chris, the Bitcoin guy, as we know him, and who actually showed me that we can do a new product, which very rarely happens. Chris, you're the first person that gives me such a great idea. Mr. Mustafa, who kindly made me a resident of the UAE and has opened many doors for me. And last but not least, Helen, who is an inspiration, because Helen is the age of my grandmother, and I'm young, but I'm not that young. And she showed me that age is literally just a number. And if you want to achieve something, you want to change your life, you want to do anything with your life, you can do it at any point of life. It doesn't matter. It can be 20, you can be 7, you can be 57, you can be 77. If you want to change your life, you're going to change your life. It's what you do with your decisions and actually acting on your decisions. All of us have dreams, all of us have thoughts and conversations with each other. 90% of those remain where they are. Fortunately, most of us in this room have been able to act on that other 10%. Few thoughts to share. I'm not going through presentations and all of that, because we all know I'm not good at following protocol. So, where is the company going? The main question that I got is, where are we going with the company? There's two sides to the story. The first one is, we're not incredibly sure. Because 6, 7, 8 months ago, I told Ali, if we crack 5 million under management by the end of the year, I'll be the happiest man alive. We just cracked 20, and there's 2.5 months left in the year. So now I no longer put any top caps on what we can achieve and where this can go. My personal dream and goal, and I spoke to a couple of you today, it's two main things. One is the main part of the business, the investment side of the business, is going to remain the same. We're going to continue to be an investment management company. A lot of you today saw that it's not a one-man show, because there was a lot of people thinking I just sit on a laptop in my bedroom and act as support, as developer, and as everything. As you saw, you saw like 25% of the employees of the company. There's a big amount of people that are trying to make this thing happen, and we're continuously adding new people because we don't have enough staff members at the moment. And I had a conversation with someone today, and I told him, listen, this is a startup. It's a startup. Not everything's gonna work perfect. For our benefit, the technology side isn't great, but the results are there. And I would much rather give you guys great results and focus on giving you great results, because at the end of the day, we're all here for profit, not for looking at this magnificently nice done website that with functionality and this, that, and the other, and at the end of the month we give you a bag of peanuts. So my focus will forever remain capital preservation, making sure that your capital is safe and that we're growing it. Everyone's making profit. The company alongside, because now we have probably like 50 employees, and we got base salaries. And I came to the very brutal realization the other day that this is close to 50 families that take money home every month from what we do, just from the employees, let alone from the countless investors. Some people have put their life savings with us. So it's a great responsibility, but I've come to realize that the more pressure I take, the better I perform. The moment our pressure gets lower and I start to get comfortable with where we are, it doesn't feel the same for me, which obviously doesn't mean texting me at 3 a.m. about anything. Thank you. But yes, I realized that we thrive under pressure. It's what I love. I love the challenges. I love the journey. And this is why the investment management side will remain the same. To answer a question that 1 million of you had, no, we are not just a trading company. Trading is about 10 to 15% of what we do. As much as trading is exciting, yes, I know. Everybody likes, the trading nonsense I talk about in the group, and it's exciting, it's fun, it's aggressive, it's fast-paced, but it's a very small part of what we do. The boring little things are what makes money. Boring little ways for us to make yield, and I've been talking about yield a lot lately, and it's a word you're going to be hearing from me a lot moving forward. We're just finding a number of ways to get yield on the money that you guys invest with us and your clients and our friends and family and everyone else. Be it through DeFi. DeFi is a very large segment of what we do. It's a great hedge against trading because there's no trading involved, it's low risk, it's completely deleveraged. We do a lot of early stage project allocations. Pump Fund token, I've been talking about Pump Fund for the last 12 months as a launch pad. We're one of the big investors in the general token, World Liberty Finance, you name it. I love finding gems in the rubble. I'm not gonna go through my trading career before. A lot of you know how it went. We did a meme coin, it went incredibly well. We made a bunch of money there, and the rest is history. No problem. Got that. So yeah, in terms of investments, it's going to stay the same. We're not going to be chasing higher percentage. And why I say this is when you put it in perspective, and a lot of people, I understand, when we were doing 10% a month, people were like, can we do 15? When we got to 15, people said, can we do 20? Now we're kind of stabilized around 20. People are asking for more. As much as I would like to do this, the number one priority for an asset manager is capital preservation. My first job is to make sure that your money is safe, because if it's not safe, there's no way for me to make profit on your money. You can only make profit on the amount when it's intact. The moment that your portfolio dips under the principal amount is where we have to play catch up. We start playing catch up, it's a slippery slope. So I'd much rather get consistent risk, maybe not risk-free because risk-free doesn't exist, but risk managed results, and to do it consistently over a long period of time, because long consistent profits add up. I know that crypto has gotten us to the point where we all think that 100% is nothing, which in crypto terms I could agree to some level. I'll give you an example. Your bank gives you, I don't know, I've not had deposits in a bank for many years, but let's assume it gives you 5% a year, if even, I don't know. It gives you 5% a year on your deposit. Your money has to stay there, you're not liquid at all. And inflation, general inflation around the world at the moment is about 8.5% to 10%, around there somewhere in that region. So we're talking about, okay, the bank kept your money for 1 year so you can lose half of the amount that inflation eats. Great, fantastic. You're not liquid. The bank asks you, excuse my French, what the fuck are you doing with your money? And you have to give them a million explanations if you're sending, a nominal amount of money anywhere. And at the same time, they're trying to convince you that this is safety. No, it's a nonsense given by big banking corporations that I come from. I know how that system works and how it hooks people. That safety net and that protection around your capital is non-existent. Everyone here has, remembers 2007, 2008. Where was the banking protection then? What happened? I know it changed my life forever because it wasn't for 2000, 2008. I would never move to London. From London, I would never move to, my life would be completely different. And I'm sure that everybody in the room was somehow affected by this particular period of time, the most recent crisis. So when you talk about profit, even at 10% a month, which our projected model is around 15, we're overperforming it because it's a great market at the moment, but let's assume, at 10% a month, that's 120% net profit a year. You're doubling and over doubling your money. Which bank offers this? Best regular hedge fund in the world can offer you about 60%. And a hedge fund does 60%. Everyone that works at this hedge fund is going home with a with a 7-figure bonus, and they can take the next year off. I worked in the investment bank for 10 years. We've never done 60%, all right? Jefferies is the 4th largest investment bank in the world. How do these guys live for the last 100 and something, 200 years? Consistency. boring, old consistency and risk management. And this is what we're going to do. Fortunately for us, we're in an industry, the crypto industry, which at the moment gives a very high yield. So in crypto sense, our projected 240–50% for the year is middle of the pack. There's funds doing 500–600%, which is incredible, but I would not want to be there on their trading desk with the risk that they're taking to make 500%. We're very confident and we're very comfortable with what we do, and my strategy is not going to change anytime soon. So we're going to aim at that projected 15% a month. If it gets more, great for us. If it doesn't get more, at least we're safe. Next step for us as a company, in my personal vision, is digital banking. Digital banking to a level where it will be accessible only to our clients. We're not opening a new Revolut, or we're not doing a fintech solution. We're currently working with VARA, which is the local virtual assets regulator, to progress this. We're very hopeful that by the end of the year we're going to be fully licensed on that regard. And our main idea is to build a platform where every single one of our clients is having problems just generally with transferring money. It doesn't matter if it's to us or anywhere else. We can facilitate that through the blockchain and through additional technological solutions that are readily available. Only thing you need to do, KYC. Soft KYC. There's many ways to do it. The company just needs to be willing. That's the only thing. You need to be open-minded. You need to not want to regulate people's money to that high level. Yes, obviously, follow rules, follow regulations, make sure AML is in place and all of that. But at the same time, let people enjoy their money. At the end of the day, that's why all of us work, to enjoy the fruits of our labor. Not to have constant calls with a bank. Like, I had a very interesting conversation with my bank in Spain. It doesn't matter how much money you have, you can only spend 3,000 euros per day on your bank card. So if you want to make a big purchase, whatever it is, it could be for a hospital, but it could be for anything. You gotta call them, you gotta go through a 20-minute conversation, why and what it is you're going to be spending on, and they have to approve that you spend more than 3,000 euros on your own money. It's incredible, and it's something that I personally, one of the main reasons I left banking. The next thing after digital banking, and this is now me being bold and being very brave in what I say, is having a venture capital fund attached to Web3. The more we grow the funds in the company, obviously we need to find bigger ways to generate yield. We will continue to generate consistent yield on trading, on DeFi and so forth and so on. But the more money we have, the bigger opportunities are going to come our way. Even I can see it now, 20 million under management, the opportunities and the offers that we get from the market have started to increase every month. I'm very confident that by the end of next year, we could potentially be at 200 million with that rate of growth and with the efforts that we're putting in. At 200 million, we can open a small VC. Opening a small VC means that we can let current investors become shareholders in the company, which obviously the dream for any startup is to grow it to a certain level, let early investors in the company get a part of the company, and then sell it to the highest bidder and get a fat payment. Anyone that in this room tells me, people are not here to make money, you're lying to yourself. Can we do it in a more strategic, ethical way where, we don't put money first and by any means necessary? Of course we can. We can and we should. Because, this is the way we build the business. It's, life's an interesting thing. Before 24, I never thought that I'm going to be talking about ethics and finance. Born and raised, born maybe not, but raised on a Wall Street type of bank. Ethics doesn't exist. It's you're a number, and numbers are the only thing that matters. That's the beauty of crypto. There's community there. There's no community in finance. It doesn't exist. In crypto, it's all about community. There's the power of the people because it's decentralized. There's no regulations, very loose. It allows people to come together and to really move markets. The market is still young enough, and as much as people in the room and like me, I think that crypto's everything. In my opinion, crypto's in everyday life. It's not 8% of the human population knows and uses crypto. That's 8%. The crypto market, someone was telling me why is it so volatile? It's such a big market. Crypto market is between $3.5 and $4.5 trillion on a daily basis. Apple is closing in on 5 trillion alone. There's only one company from the stock exchange. So crypto market's very young. It's very new. You know, regular finance took a lot longer than crypto to grow and to shape up as it is. Crypto's growing at a very rapid pace, and you know, thankfully for us, the madman in the White House is helping a lot. As much as he's a curse to humanity, he's a blessing for crypto. I would have never thought that I'll be praying and hoping that Donald Trump wins an election, but you know, here I was, 2024. I was awake all night trying to, hoping that we see that he wins, because it was a make or break for the industry. He won, and since he's manipulated the market on a weekly basis, but you know, we're here for it. We're enjoying it. Talking about risk management a little bit, I'm going to talk about topics that people brought up today, and if I don't touch on something, I implore you guys to remind me, because there were so many questions today. Risk management. So talking about risk management is, people ask me how much money can we lose in you know, at the very most. What happens if we lose anything? How can we lose anything? As an asset manager, my question is, where is your risk management? How can you, when you're diversified, when you have risk management, when you employ stop losses in, you know, trading strategies in your, you know, in your investments, how can you lose more than your risk profile? Our exposure is never more than 10%. But on that 10%, you also have a stop loss profile of 10%. So yeah, the most we can use in a given day is 1% of the portfolio. Big hit. 1% of the portfolio is still a big amount of money, but it's an amount we can live with. So technically, for us to lose 30% of the portfolio, we have to get everything fundamentally wrong from A to Z for 30 days in a row. Not saying it's impossible, but statistically, it kind of is. You know, how you give a monkey a typing machine, it's inevitably going to write a full sentence. So same counts for us and for the market. You know, the market doesn't work how people think it works. You know, you don't sit in front of a green and red candle when you hope and pray that it goes up or down. You know, it's all strategy. It's all about calculations. It's all about knowing where things are going. It's about market sentiment. I talk about market sentiment a lot. Numbers don't always say everything. Sometimes the market is illogical and you know, it makes no sense. Some of you remember now, 11th of October was the biggest crash in crypto history, biggest overnight crash. So we were safe. We had one open position. It hit stop loss immediately because obviously the crypto market dumped. We lost, I think, about $50,000 on this one, which on a $20 million portfolio is a drop in the ocean. But again, this showed how fragile people's strategies are. $19 billion were liquidated within the first hour. That means people were just trading without stop loss, no risk management. And we had the news of a number of fund managers committing suicide the next day. How much it was suicide or how much something else happened, we don't know, but you know, allegedly. Which again tells you, okay, you're a fund manager and you liquidated your fund overnight. What the holy hell were you doing? Where was your risk management? Or were you actually fund manager or you were just gambling with people's money? Everybody that knows me in the room, Arian at the back texted me as things were happening. I'm not gonna lie, this thing was happening. I was just about to go to bed. I saw my phone flashing like crazy, got my laptop, sat in bed, and I just saw the market sinking. I'm not gonna lie, that was the scariest 15 minutes of my career. Not because we were losing money. We didn't know where the bottom is. You know, bottom could have been, Bitcoin could have gone to 50. You don't know with situations like this. It was unprecedented. Obviously, it lasted about 10 to 15 minutes. Then it became obvious it's just market manipulation. It was nothing else. So for us, everyone that was awake at that time, so what I did, I took 2 big short positions for a minute and a half. We made about $500,000. And then I tried to calm myself down back to sleep. It eventually worked at 3 o'clock in the morning, Spanish time. Yeah. I was texting in the group because, and I said it a few times today. The WhatsApp group is my self-therapy. This is where I vent and this is where I share opinions and thoughts, and I rant for some of our clients being assholes and being rude. But you know, it is what it is. It's part of the game. So I was literally texting nonstop in the group for one simple reason. I needed to calm myself down because that was such a rush of adrenaline and such a spike that I needed to vent. So yeah, and eventually I went back to sleep, and which didn't last long. And the following morning, we took the 5 best positions I've ever had in my career. Why? We were prepared, we were safe, and we were liquid. I normally never show positions of 2, 3, 4, 500% because I'm not greedy. You know, I don't do these positions. You know me, I've said it a million times, 20% of something is better than 100% of nothing. But everyone that was prepared and everyone that was safe during that particular day made an immense amount of money. In 2 days, because the rest of the week was horrible. The rest of the week, there was no movement, so we basically did nothing. But those 2 days paid for the entire week. It was 48 hours, they paid for the entire week, and they secured a lot of positions that are still open because they gave us generational entries. We posted what, 5.something% profit for the week, yeah, while the market was basically crying under the bed. Yeah. Another thing I want to touch on is people that are consistently asking, is this going to affect the profits? Is that going to affect the profits? We don't know. I don't know when we're going to close a certain position. We take a good entry. I'm not going to close, and I call them God tier entries. At the moment, everybody here that's been in the group for a while knows my love for a very funny name coin called Fart Coin. It may be an absurd name, but it is an absurdly good project. I was talking to Ali that if I ever sold that coin under 50 cents, I will go in with the highest possible position the exchange will ever allow me. We got it at 31 cents. I am not closing this position just to appeal to someone that's telling me, oh, we want to see a higher weekly profit. Good for you, no problem. There's plenty of other companies. We're more concerned, and our mindset isn't appealing on the short term and appealing to people that want to see short-term gains. If you want to see short-term gains, it's more of a gamble. If you want to gamble, go to the casino, red or black. We got a 50% chance of hitting. What we're concerned with is a long-term vision and a long-term consistency of profits, which I will translate to you in figures. If we close today all our long-term positions that I've kept for many months, this week I'll probably give you a 60% profit. So imagine what we can, good. Yeah, I know. But imagine that this is one phase of the bull cycle. It will continue to go higher. Imagine what we do as we start to go out of these long-term positions. So looking at those, don't think, oh, these are all the investments we have. No, we have such an immense number of long-term positions because it's a long-term fund. We're trading on a daily basis with about $2 million. There's another $18 million worth of positions that is making money. But it's unrealized at the moment. So without having to go into a lot of further details on trading, and I don't want to bore you with this because I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. Trading is a long-term game, and anyone that sees it as a short-term, sees it as a way to make a few extra bucks, Andrea and I call them hobby traders. Guys, please leave it to professionals. Anyone that's a hobby trader, obviously if you're playing with a couple of $1,000, do your thing, have fun. But I know certain people that are hobby trading with like $50,000, $100,000, $200,000. Please don't gamble with your kids' inheritance, and don't gamble with your safety net. Have liquidity, diversify. I'm not saying invest all of it with us, all of it, please. But diversify. Just make sure that your assets are working for you. I know it's exciting to do it yourself, but quite frankly, I don't try to fix my car myself because most likely I'm gonna fuck it up even more. So what I do is I go to a professional. Same applies with investments. The only difference is if I mess up my car, I'll just have to pay a little bit extra and the professional's still gonna fix it. If you lose all your money, you can't just pay a little bit extra to someone to bring it back for you. It doesn't work that way. So that's the only thing I can say about strategy and risk management, and just the only thing. I've been talking for 30 minutes. What else can I say? Many things probably, but yeah, future plans. Obviously, the Sofia office is almost done. Well, I say almost. Emily's giving me this look. It's not almost done. I'm lying. The actual fitting is almost done. The furniture will be probably another month if we're lucky. For the European clients, very important because you guys are going to be able to, instead of having, I know Dubai is fun and it's great and I love Dubai, obviously it's my new home. But when it comes to business and to traveling, and for you guys it's 7, 8, 9 hours, whatever it is. So the office in Sofia is going to present a great opportunity for 1.5, 2, 3 hours maximum journey. Sofia is a very friendly European capital. You know, a lot of you were my guests at Ethereum Sofia about 2 months ago. So that new office I'm very excited about. Other offices I'm considering, at least now looking at me because I haven't told him, which happens every once in a while. I'm considering doing a small office in Germany. Obviously we have a massive German community, we have a massive amount of German clients, it only makes sense. One of our, our co-head of European sales is in German, so it kind of makes sense to have an office. He didn't know that as well, but yeah, that's kind of my next thing. And yeah, Matt, don't look at me, yes, we will probably have to do one in Spain as well.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Dallas.
Yeah. We need a little bit more clients in Dallas first, but I would love to have an office in Dallas. Helen is from Texas, and you know, you don't mess with Texas. So yeah, other future plans. What are future plans we have? We're sponsoring the F1 in Abu Dhabi. To everyone that is a fan, no, you can't come. No, I'm joking. Like we'll announce something very soon. We're probably gonna announce it on the 1st of November. We're gonna have a few tickets for clients. It's gonna be a very expensive qualification, you know, purely because it's such an expensive sponsorship for us. But great visibility, great visibility. It was just a great offer that we received and we couldn't say no to, because you know, we have to market as well. We can't just rely on a word of mouth, it's impossible. Other conferences and ideas, we're probably not going to be doing any conference appearances for at least the next few months. I need to stop traveling a little bit. Those of you that know me know I've been traveling on and off for the last 9 months consistently. I need to park myself in Dubai for at least 2 months and relax. Well, relax, just go to the office and go back home. We're planning a few trips for an Asia trip in November. That's going to be very short. And then we're planning something in January and February, but they're going to be short, like a few day trips, nothing, you know, nothing major. We're considering doing Token 2049 in Dubai in May. Once one and done, I'm not going to be doing it every year. We're probably going to do, because you know it's our first. It will be our first full calendar year next year here in Dubai, so you know, it makes sense to do a sponsorship there. But again, as a one and done. We will be again doing Ethereum Sofia. We've signed up as a lead sponsor. We signed up immediately after the conference, because those of you that were with me, kind of most of you agreed, it was a great experience. It was a great experience. I find more value in doing these smaller niche conferences where you can have more impact on the audience, on the people around you. Going to Token for 2049, you're one of 1,000 companies. You know? And I'm very realistic, we can't fight with the big boys at the moment. We don't sit at that table. We're very comfortable saying what we are. We're a boutique niche firm. We're very okay with this. We like living in this area. We will inevitably grow, as you know, we've shown, but we're currently sitting at a different table. At some point, it will change. Anything that I'm missing? No? No, I can shut up now? I can shut up, okay. Yeah, again, thank you very much everyone for joining us. I'll shut the hell up now, and we can all go for dinner, for a couple of drinks. Thanks for being part of our journey.
Just one thing.
He's gonna sing me a song now?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. But I cannot sing.
I know.
Yeah, I have a surprise for you from two of my partners. So I'm please, Rüdiger and Nick, come here. So
actually today they gifted me a crystal ball. Yeah. So next time any of you ask me what the profit for next week is gonna be, I'm literally just going to consult with the crystal ball. It's their fault.
First, I will say I don't know this before. I don't know what they are doing. Yeah, it's not from me. It's from them. So this is why I give you the microphone now.
This is dangerous.
You can make your part of it.
Yes, hello all together. First, thank you for everything you made for us. Rüdiger was very creative and made a special surprise for you. So please, can you play the orchestra? Just play it. Does it work with YouTube? It's not playing. It's not picking the YouTube. Can you call someone from the hotel to check why it's not picking?
And that's why I hate surprises.
Victor. While you're waiting on that, could I say something? Because I want to give a testimony.
Yeah, sure. While we're waiting, Helen. Oh, okay. Did you figure it out?
No.
Okay. Helen wants to say something. Let the woman speak.
I just want to say, because this young man has changed my life. And don't neglect people that are in your area of influence that you think, oh, they can't do it. Those are the people that need it. Personal testimony, I was living on Social Security in America, which is just a little over $1,000 a month. And my dad, who was 96, was contributing, and he passed away in September. I got a very, very small inheritance, and I didn't know where I was going to go. I looked at the income that I had because I had an injury and broke my jaw and got a little bit of a settlement for that, and I thought, okay, I've got 4 years that I can live without having to depend on my kids. And if you're a parent here, you know, depending on your kids isn't where you want to be, even though they kept going, Mom, it's okay, Mom, it's okay. So I took a risk, and I thought, what would my dad do? And my dad did not get to live the life he wanted to live because my mom was risk adverse. Everything Dad wanted to try, Mom was, no, Bill, no, we're okay. You know, so I saw and lived that being risk averse, but I knew my dad always wanted to try big things. And I thought, okay, I'm going to give this a try. And I put $1,000 in, saw the profit. So then when Dad's money came in, I put that in, saw the profit. And I thought, I'm getting in. And I took what I had from the settlement from breaking my jaw, that it was only going to last me 4 years, because we all know in an investment, I couldn't draw the capital out. You know, I'd lose my principal and it was just going to dwindle down. So I took it and I put it in. 4 weeks later, my car explodes and it cost me $5 grand. If I had not done this, I would not have been able to pay for my car because I had pulled everything out of my capital and it'd been gone. But because I had done this, it was like I said, God knew ahead of time what I was going to need when I needed it. And because I had done this, the gains that I had made over the previous 3 weeks paid for my car. And now I'm in a position where I don't have to live little. I can live big. But this young man, and I say very seriously, he's like a grandson to me, you know. Don't look at somebody and go, no, they're not interested in this. Look at everybody as being able to benefit from what he has created.
We're in uncharted territory for me because I don't get emotional. Most of you know that the first thank you. I know part of the story. I didn't know the backside of the story, but yeah, it's little things like the one Helen shared, and So I never share these stories. I've gone on a few messages like Helen's and a few stories like Helen's along the months, but those of you that know me know I don't like sharing stuff like that. I keep it private. I'm not, but I keep these things to me. What we do, for who we do, how we do it, that's not part of the business. That's part of who we are. So yeah, I don't know. For the first time ever, you're gonna hear me. I don't have anything to say.
Bulgaria to Dubai, one big shot. Every blockchain, futures high. Every vision, blockchain race. UEB3, I think the trace. Every vision,
People are trying to make it
Great, awesome.
Give me a surprise.
So, this is in the charts next month.
Yes.